Hi, I'm Heng Wan Sing, and this is my personal reflection. My personality according to the Bellbeam Team Roles test. One of the biggest roles of my personality is the innovator. This means I'm the creative generator. I have a strong desire to be creative and likes to incorporate my ideas and impacts how my team approaches a certain task. I have a strong imagination and likes to approach my task in a scientific way. I am also independent and I like to work alone much more than I like to work in a group. The second role is the driver, which means that I'm somewhat ambitious, which is why some members might see me as impatient. And the last top three biggest team role that I play is the completer. I'm responsible and I tend to feel responsible and likes to take heavy tasks in a team. Not because I do not trust my teammates, but I just don't like to feel I do not make enough contribution. Overall, I would say that I'm the person that tends to do the quality control. The next slide will be the behavior and the main events of our collaborations. First, I thought that my team would only consist of members that will agree with whatever I said, but instead, some members were shy, some were independent and likes to work alone, and some are nonchalant. But overall, the team tends to discuss separately, or if we do, we discuss in class about the progress and what should be done. Some of the members hate meetings, and when I suggested online meetings, most of them strongly wants the meeting to be physical or after the class. I think it will be a great idea at first, but some members tend to go back early even when they are the one who suggested to have meetings in class, and it makes me question what could I do to make or convince them to have online meeting. Some members even wants to discuss strictly through WhatsApp and chat. This makes me question my reliability and effect I have on my members, as they like to dismiss my ideas and suggestions even when I go with their idea. They never meet the end of the deal, even when it is their idea in the first place. Based on the peer reviews by my teammates, they stated that I rushed them to do things and was too anxious at times. And compared to my previous peer review, my second peer review scored lower compared to the first one, without any explanation and feedbacks, which makes me unable to justify why. But I will make some justification on why I do the things I did on the next section. My strengths include I was able to keep track of everyone's progress. I also give constructive suggestion when needed, and also I take on various roles when needed. These are some of the main events and the challenges and my reactions to it. The main events include how the group is formed. The events that I believe is the main ones are the three: forming, storming and norming, and lastly, performing. This is based on the Tuckman group development model, and I believe events that our group develops are the main events. In the first stage, forming, we develop certain expectations for members of different majors and expectations of what can each individual do to help the group. We also find out our communication and the working style of each member. In the second stage, we find out the problem in our group is that all members tend to discuss things in a different time. For example, if some were to ask questions on 6 p.m., their reply will be hours later. This will make some members feel like they are being ignored. And my personal problem with the team is that members tend to message me separately and ask me about their section of the work, and some even text me during midnights when I really need to rest or do my other assignments. And for us to cooperate efficiently, I tend to put due dates few days before the submission date and rush members to actually do a brief version before their final ones so everyone could check on their progress. And if they are on track, I believe this is why my peer evaluation few members stated that I was too rushed and anxious. And the last event is how we distribute our work. Personally, it is stressful to have to know all the parts as a leader, and one of the examples is that I also have to overcome my weakness in finance, as most of the members don't know finance, and even one of our members who is a finance major have no idea about finance, which makes me having to do the part I despise the most with another member majoring in finance. What I learned throughout the experience. I'm actually a person who hates to lead others. This semester, I've tried everything I can to overcome this and try to take on roles and subjects that can give me experience on leadership. This is one of the steps towards achieving something I used to avoid. From this experience, I think that I've learned how to analyze people by working with introverted people and also people who are very strong opinionated. I also learned how to overcome different people of different personality by talking to everyone individually, as I realized that they are more cooperative when I reach out personally for help on certain tasks. Now that I've learned that my current leadership approach, participative leadership, in the future I would try different leadership approach. Some of the things that I would do if I were to get a role as a leader again is that I would focus on team cohesion as it is encouraging and motivates members to do well on the assignment. My second approach is that I would establish ground rules so that everyone would do the things they say they would, and I will also suggest more meetings even if the members think otherwise. And I will also discuss it with my academic coach to help come up with a better solution. However, there are also things that would remain the same is that I would set earlier due dates and I believe it can minimize the panic and arguments. After graduation, I believe that these experiences are important but still not effective enough as organization teamwork would have contrast with teamwork in university. Despite that, I think it will be somewhat helpful as it helped me learn how to handle different type of situation. This is all for my presentation. Thank you for listening.